Hello there. I have a little question for you.
Okay.
As a cybersecurity professional, can you tell us why we shall use an antivirus when we are just anybody, professional of any field, employee, maybe just dad or mom at home? And let's imagine that we have two daughters of 14 and 16 years old at home. So why would having an antivirus be a good idea? Or we're just like safe because it's already all good?
Well, there is one common misconception is that antivirus are about protecting your computer against the world, because first, most attacks don't actually come from the outside in. What I mean by that is when you imagine a hacker or a cyber attack, you often think about people breaking into the network or into your computer. These cases do happen, but they're mostly at the enterprise level or other footprints than the layperson with their two daughters and themselves working from home. This is the whole I don't have nothing to worry about because I'm not big enough. It's technically true, but not fully. Because the thing is, as a as a person with apparently nothing to risk, you're still at risk of being part of the non-targeted malware and attacks. What that means is there are threat actors, there are bad people out there who are targeting everyone. And what they're trying to do is not going after you personally, they're going after you as part of a network. You've heard the word botnet. This is, for instance, a case where attackers have taken control automatically through their software of a lot of computers from a lot of people distributed over countries, which means that your computer just becomes part of a network. You have no idea about it. But this is why, yes, at that point you've been hacked, but it's not personal. So that's one thing that's important to note is attackers, indeed, they may not come after you personally, but you're still at risk. I think I kind of glossed over the question. So would you like to restate it?
So that's an interesting information. You said botnet. I never heard about botnet. So what I understand that you're saying is that even though it doesn't seem like I'm at risk, I may be unknowingly part of a huge network of malicious computers and malicious people and truly not know about that. That means that my daughters could have run something on the computer and made us part of something bigger and ill intentioned.
Yes, that's the short version of it. So just to summarize that part, attackers may not come after you personally, but they still want the processing power from your computer or your network connection or your bandwidth. All these digital resources that they can use themselves to make money. Say mining crypto without your knowledge, say hosting bad websites without your knowledge, say recently I saw an example of a browser extension that was redirecting traffic from one browser to another, claiming to increase your bandwidth, but that was actually proxying your traffic across someone else's computers anywhere in the world anonymously. But then that started flagging EDRs, which is enterprise grade antivirus, because the traffic started looking weird and being redirected to the wrong places. So this is to say that even though you may not be the target, the resources you have through a computer an internet connection and personal data are still valuable enough for attackers to want. Now, you also mentioned that indeed you could be running something, and this is where the recent ClickFix attack came through, which is basically when an attacker attempts to trick you into running a malicious code yourself. And the reason why this is innovative
Oh,
is, yes, you,
how how can
how?
we do that?
So this is what is really innovative, because traditionally you had to download a file, execute it, and do something with the file to run malware and be infected.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like your phishing email, your malicious advertising, your malicious downloads. This has been a traditional way to get viruses for years. But now, with this new technique called ClickFix, you can see with these kind of examples that attackers only have to show you a web page with instructions, and these instructions, what is tricky is the browser has a very cool feature which is called which is interacting with your clipboard, so giving you the ability to copy text from the web using just a click of a button. This is where, if you ever deal with code, you can just copy code from the browser, from the web page, using the copy button rather than having to select it and copy it yourself. That's why this feature exists. It's just a convenience. Problem is, this feature is being abused. As soon as you click the copy button right here, is it going to copy something, except it's not your regular code. It is usually a dropper code, which is a code that once you run it, because say I'm running it, for instance, this is for Windows examples. This key combination Windows and R will pop the run prompt, and in there, anything you type will be interpreted as a Windows command. So whether it is
So,
pasting, yes.
so just to clarify, because I also imagine many people who are not understanding half of it, but what they know is that fix it, that they will understand. Command R, that they will understand. Control V and enter, that they will understand. And very proudly do it. However, what is that command R doing? What is that run thing that comes in?
Well, that's the thing. That command R opens up the run prompt on Windows. There is equivalent for Mac and Linux. It's not just Windows. And so basically anything you put into that run prompt is going to be executed on the computer as a program. So
So
in
there
the,
is no antivirus for that.
that's not exactly that. The antivirus runs at a different level. This is purely user input. So at this point, anything I put into that command, even if I just run calc, which is the shortcut for the calculator, boom, it goes and opens it, and I have my calculator. Just
So if
because
I
I
just
typed
do command R and calc, I get the calculator.
exactly.
Thank you for the trick because I didn't know that.
You're
That's quite
welcome.
easy.
You're welcome. But then
Okay.
the risk with all of that is anything you type is interpreted as a comment. So
Okay.
when the malicious web page copies, when you click the fix it button, when it copies that code to your clipboard, to the copy paste section of your computer, what it does is, as soon as you paste it into that run prompt, and this is a traditional way of ClickFix, there is also a version where it makes you opens up the terminal directly, but the concept is the same, because anything you paste into that terminal or that prompt is going to be executed on the computer as yourself. That includes malware and
Okay.
remote attacks and compromising your computer and your data.
So what I understand is that that click fix malicious attack, it's going to show up as a savior because something went wrong with Google, with Facebook, with like normal program we use every single day, asking us to run to copy first of all, but we don't know what we are copying really, to open and run a command that will actually get executed on our computer, to paste it here, even though we still don't understand what it is, press enter, and that is when so simple, and with 3 clicks, we can get infected, we can get part of a network of ill-intentioned malicious attack, we can unknowingly be part of something that is truly bad for society.
Yes. Yes, it is as simple as that in a way. Now, the main thing you can do to protect yourself against that, one, critical thinking. Seriously, most attacks can be thwarted by taking a step back and realizing, do I really want to do that and why? And does it make sense for the context? This is the number one question you can ask yourself to prevent cyber attacks and other kind of compromise. Now, the next best thing, and that's the technical control, is a good antivirus. Now, Defender or Xprotect from Apple, or especially if weak antiviruses like McAfee or the other ones, will not protect you against that kind of thing. At least unlikely or not yet. Or more advanced antiviruses, such as the one IT Pros Alacart resells, which is MCSoft and Bitdefender, and even the premium version of Malwarebytes, are very good options that will actually monitor what we call the runtime, which is what programs are running, which programs are running and how. And so by analyzing the behavior of these programs, these good antiviruses will detect that you're actually loading a malicious resource, like a malicious software, or connecting to a malicious server. And it will take action from there by blocking this connection, and most of the time not notifying you that something happened, and removing the process that was running this malicious code.
That's quite interesting. So that means that if my 14 years old daughter, who just tries to get away with all kind of little things that she doesn't want me to know as her mother, and she's actually going to her computer, which is the computer of the family, and finds herself confronted with that and just want to proudly do the thing because that is what is being suggested, that Emisoft, if I remember well, that antivirus that IT Pros Alacart resell would actually protect the entire family computer from doing something wrong and something bad for, first of all, ourselves, but also many other people, still unknowingly.
Yes. Yes, antiviruses like MCSoft and other great antiviruses are trained to protect against this kind of hidden threat, even if you're running it yourself accidentally through that ClickFix attack. This is one of many cases where user input is the way that things get in, but that good technical controls, such as good antiviruses and other protections, such as not having administrator access to your own computer, are very good protections to avoid spreading anything further and blocking threats as they happen.
So how is that kind of threat called? Because I'm just thinking, right now we talk about Emisoft, but let's say that someone is watching this video in 5 years from now, there will probably be other antivirus on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So what shall be mentioned on the features of the antivirus to protect against that click fix, that user input type of threats?
So that's the trick. Finding the right antiviruses is a hard process, I'll be honest. There is some trust. You've got to be able to trust the antivirus software you're working with. On my side, especially with IT Pros Alacart, I look for EDR, which is endpoint detection and response type of software. And the EDR is the type of is a type of antivirus that enterprise uses at this time, because they are more advanced. They have runtime telemetry. They use all these added features, such as monitoring user input and monitoring software activities to be able to prevent issues. Additionally, another one or two nice features of EDRs is one, network isolation. If the computer is determined to be compromised, you as the user or someone as the manager of that computer has the option to isolate the computer from the network. That prevents bad actors from controlling it. That prevents automatic spread of the virus when equipped to do so. And that way, this is similar as if you just enable airplane mode or unplug the Ethernet or turn off the Wi-Fi, except it's a software that does that programmatically with the intention of protecting the computer.
Interesting. What you are saying, if I understand well, just correct me if I'm wrong, is that if we go through IT Pros a la carte to obtain a antivirus, a subscription, we receive enterprise grade level protection for us as individual and families. So that means that my 14 years old daughter, who just like tries to do all kind of things behind my back and I'm not even aware of it, even though I should, would actually be protected at an enterprise grade level if I make the decision right now to purchase a subscription of antivirus from IT Pros a la carte. Is that correct?
That is correct. Through the advantage that you have by going through us is because we help several people, we have access to broader to software which are made for more people. The same way that enterprises and companies can use their bulk of employees to pay cheaper licenses, by combining our customer base, we can achieve a similar result by giving you access to the best protection possible through the scale of our customer base. Another very important advantage of having these enterprise-grade antivirus is content blocking. Now, what that means is, say your kid is on the internet and you don't want them to see certain types of websites, we can block that. There was a whole set of categories in the current antivirus that we use for gambling, for adult websites, for scams, for all of that, and we can individually block either individual domains or categories of websites, and either silently block it or block it with a notification. These features may vary between antiviruses, but this is one that we currently have and that we're really proud of.
So, question for you. If my daughter is smart enough to open an incognito window, can she access those websites that are not allowed?
No, because the protection is occurring at the computer level, not at the browser level.
Fabulous. So that also means that if she downloads another browser to try to escape me and to really try to do her thing, and I still don't know what she does, but I have a bad feeling,
Mm-hmm.
She would still be protected. The computer would be protected.
That's correct. And in the case of MCSoft, she would be prompted to install the MCSoft browser extension, which furthers this protection.
Okay, so that I can also do before she comes back home?
Yes, and anytime there is a new browser that's compatible, MCSoft will literally show up on the site, say, install my extension, please.
Got it. So I will also let her know that that is a total protection from any kind of active threat that can happen in so many creative ways, such as ClickFix or botnet. Do I remember well?
Yes, botnets are a technology of computers acting as a network of robots, if you want. And ClickFix is this attack that we've discussed earlier that tricks you into executing code on your computer.
Wow. Okay. I was exploring a little bit something. So I still have a last question. Will I experience content blocked that I still want to actually run?
It's always possible. It's always possible. Like, there is always false positives or false negatives. This is why, this is why we can set up exceptions. If we give the computer user the access to do so, they can add exceptions themselves or allow something through themselves. The other end of that spectrum is only us as management of the antivirus can do that for you, preventing, say, your daughter from intentionally allowing an application through that she shouldn't. There is a middle ground. It's the administrative password. where we are able to set up an administrative password that gives you control, but not her, as long as your password is strong and that she doesn't get it from you.
I understand that. All right. So how do I get in touch with IT Pros a la carte?
The best way to get in touch with us is to visit us on our website, itprosalacarte.com.
All right. And just wow, thank you. So I'm sold. I want to get a subscription through IT Pros a la carte, an enterprise grade subscription level of an antivirus to make sure to protect my daughter, me, and all the people around, because I understand now the value of it. Is there a direct URL, a link, or something that I can go and get started?
Of course, you can go ahead and visit itprosalacarte.com/antivirus. You can also contact us through that website and through the phone number on the website for more details if you have any questions. We're always happy to help.
Thank you so much. Fabulous.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Gemma.